This is a chart that was published by Toro many years ago that is no longer available. Okay, I've got a shadow here. Alright. This chart shows different bed knives, different bed bars, the rear roller spacer position, or how many rear roller spacers are employed, the behind center distance, BCD, the bed knife angle, which most of us are now referring to as the attitude. And this chart shows that the behind center distance has no correlation with the attitude or the bed knife angle. So I've extracted the most important information from that chart, and I've got it here so it's easier to understand. So here we have your typical standard length micro cut bed knife with the standard red bed bar and one spacer employed on the rear roller, and this yields a BCD of 0.276, an attitude of 8.8, and the angle of aggression of that setup is 6.3. Here we have a tournament bed knife, which is the same length as the microcut, same bed bar, no spacer employed. The BCD is 0.168. The attitude is 6.4. Angle of aggression 3.8. Extended microcut, aggressive bed bar, one spacer employed, BCD 0.189, attitude 11 degrees, angle of aggression 4.3. Extended microcut, same bed knife with a standard bed bar, one spacer employed, 0.075 BCD, bed knife angle 8.3, AOA 1.7. Extended tournament knife, standard bed bar, one spacer employed, 0.079 BCD, and 8.5 attitude, 1.8 angle of aggression. If you look at the BCDs compared to the attitude, you will see that there is no correlation there. These two setups here have almost no aggression, very little behind center distance, but the attitude is in the mid 8 degrees. Whereas this setup here gives a moderate amount of aggression, more BCD than these two, yet the attitude is less than these two. A much more aggressive setup here, a much greater BCD, but the attitude is very similar to these, which have almost no aggression. This is data that was published by Toro many years ago that shows there's no correlation between BCD and the attitude. Now, when I add the angle of aggression of these setups, and again, this is using data that was published by Toro, you can see there's a correlation between the BCD, and the angle of aggression. So here's the most aggressive setup, the greatest angle of aggression. A moderate amount of aggression here, and the angle of aggression is in the mid-range. Very little aggression here, and a very small angle of aggression here.